Hello, everybody, and welcome to today's vOLTHA TST. Thanks for joining. As usual, the call is public and recorded and will be shared live on YouTube. So please be mindful of the comments you make and the information you share. So first of all, I would like to discuss the status of the 2.8 code freeze and release. We are a little bit behind schedule. Yesterday was supposed to be code freeze, but there's still some patches that need to go in. I've put here the 4 that I know of, but there's also all the stuff that Girish and Ken are working on for the scale that is not currently merged. So let's try and do as much as possible in the upcoming, effectively today. So let me start with these first 2. I can give my update and maybe Mahir can comment as well. This one is ready. We can easily merge that. But I didn't want to merge it without having the OLT side ready. There were a few issues with the version of the patch that is up right now. I've worked today with Yazin from Netsia to fix those issues. And it seems that we have a working implementation, and Theo is now testing it in some of our periodic BB-Sim-based jobs. I know Yazin has tested it on the Turk Telecom side and Turk Telecom workflow, and that seems to be working as well. So if everything goes according to plan, we are going to merge this hopefully later today. I will ask a review to a few more honest experts. Worst case, tomorrow morning, European Standard Time, that's going to be merged if everything goes well. So that's the status on my side. Then there are 2 patches on vOLTHA regarding the PM configs. Maybe David, Girish, you know more about these than I do. I know Himani has been working on them. She just pushed a patch for them, but I don't know the current, how could you say, status of all of this.
I talked to her yesterday or morning, yesterday, whatever. Yeah, there were 3 patches, 1 that had already been merged, 2 that are outstanding. She was going to talk to Holger, I think, on the ONU adapt one. There was a conversation that she was meant to have with him, I believe. And the Volt Cuddle one, she said could go through any time, just until all the other patches are complete. It get an error on the command, basically say it's not supported.
Okay. Okay, so the vOLTHA one can go in at any time, in worst case not supported, and the OpenONU adapter Go one needs to be reviewed again by.
Yeah, Andrea, she has been sending me some test images because
Yes.
she doesn't have access to hardware, so I'm testing it on mine.
Okay, I think we need to check the reviews from Holger, so I need to ping them on this.
How is that testing going for the images?
The OpenOLT adapter change was working. vOLTHA was working. OpenONU had some issues, but she's regularly providing me, updated images. So,
okay.
Yeah, because of the time zone, it's
yeah.
Girish, why don't you do this? Why don't you send me a set of commands that I can test with? So if we don't get this resolved by today, I can work with her tomorrow morning, my time, to get this iterated over.
Yeah, I'm actually testing now, so I provide her. She said she's available right now. I'm trying to provide an update.
Okay, great. Okay, the last one. Okay, the last one is the traffic descriptor ME from Odzge and Netsia and the Netsia team. So there were some comments from Michael and Holger. Oddsgate sent up a patch. I didn't have the time to review all of this, but she mentioned something that they expanded the scope of the patch. Mahir, can you give us some clarification on this?
Actually, it's not expanding too much. I mean, the traffic descriptor creation is somehow say simplified a bit, but also traffic descriptor deletion is added to the patch. So I think it's not too extended.
So I know that there were
applications side.
okay.
Yeah.
I know that there were some issues with some locking mechanism that were required. Were those put in that you know of?
Yeah, the lock he talked about, we carried this part of data into the KV store, so it's carried to into an existing lock.
Okay. The other thing that this needs is needs to be tested at scale, because it adds a lot more information within the flow data that gets stored at in the KV store.
Yeah.
So I'm okay making a little bit of a pause on this until we merge everything at scale, and then reevaluate with the caveat that it might be if we see failures and we see that it's not working and everything, we might have to hold off on this one.
Okay.
Okay. I don't expect that to happen, but again, especially given that needs to be tested at scale, I'd like to make sure we don't sneak in anything crazy after we did all this good work on the scale stuff.
Okay, and let me check with Özge if she finalized her patch or not. Okay.
Okay, good, perfect. Then for the release, there are 4 blocker bugs that need to be, actually 3 that need to be addressed. So the TST not in memory, this is a well-known one. The flow add failure, this is something that has been introduced by the RW core not persisting the flows. It's a little bit more, it's a little convoluted. I'm not going to go into details right now. I was spending some time today on it, but it's somewhat tangled. It's at least the same code that the multi-uni OLT patch on the ONOS app is touching. So I was looking at both these elements in the same time, and I would like to get one merged and then focus again on this one. It's proving trickier than I would like. There's it's timing issue and statistics issue and things like that. So we will have to find a way for this. But given it's a bug, I'm okay pushing it after code freeze. And the other one that is a blocker for the release, in the case of Deutsche Telekom, there is a delete after the there's a delete of the device after it goes down. For example, in the PON port or scenario, when we disable the PON port, this is where it shows the ONU gets deleted and the state isn't properly cleaned up, and then we have some inconsistency. It's all described in the GR if you guys want to take a look. And that needs to be fixed. So that's the status for 2.8. Any questions?
Andrea, the last one there, the HCD not in memory.
Yeah.
That was the HCD retry mechanism. That's already submitted in GUISH patch.
Oh, so this is done?
Yeah, that's done now.
Oh, great, great. Perfect. Amazing. I like this. Good. Okay. Great.
So just another thing on the TST not in memory. I've been running tests today on the cluster with NVMe disks, and as of now, we had 10 successes in a row for 1,000 renews with the AT&T workflow and persistency enabled, and all of them are completing within the 2 minutes time frame.
Yeah.
Some are 1 minute 50, some are 5 seconds. So we're looking pretty good there.
Yay! This is really good news. It's really good news. Okay, so let's actually go to that topic, the ATCD stuff. So maybe Girish, you want to give us an update on the stuff that you have done this week, and then I would like to assess the current state of the patches that we need to put in for all of this to work.
Yeah, so quick summary. So I've worked with Ken and David to try out, the etcd pool implementation, and we still were hitting some, timeouts. And I think Mahir had a suggestion to use Resource Manager per pawn port. We did that. We still had timeouts, and then finally, just doing, analyzing the logs, I realized that, we were hitting the KV store for puts gets, multiple times, like, 17 times or so per flow. And again, on a code review, I realized that we didn't have, write through cache, at multiple places. So after putting that in place, only the last flow to delete and the first flow to add would hit the KV store multiple times. Hit the KV store only very limited number of times, like 1 or 2 times. And that actually, speeded up the things a lot. So with that, I think, we are having great improvements right now. Yeah, that's it. Can you hear me?
Yeah, that's great. That's great,
Yeah.
Girish.
Okay.
This is great. Anything?
The code is up for review, but I tried to test these images on my hardware. There are some regressions. I don't know if it's something the setup or something in my image. I need to look into that today. The VOLTHA libgo patch is merged. The Protos patch is merged. The agent and the adapter changes are pending. Yeah, I'll try to get them ASAP. Merged ASAP.
Okay, so what is missing really is, as far as I understand, in terms of patches, is the etcd pool for VOLTHA libgo from Ken.
Yeah, that's correct.
The OpenOLT adapter patch from Girish. The OpenONU adapter patch from Girish. Then we need to merge the Helm chart patch from Maninder. Is that so?
No, that's mine.
Is it yours?
Are you talking about the 6.2.5 Bitnami etcd chart?
That's a good question. Which I don't remember. This one.
Yeah, that's mine. So I need to clean that up a bit. And there are so many dependent patches, so we need to really time this.
Yeah, exactly. That is why I wanted to bring them all up and make sure that we are doing this properly. Also, Girish, you had some patches on the OpenONU channel that you mentioned this morning that were intertwined.
Oh, it is the OpenONU adapter, and it's the OpenONU adapter patch. There is also a BBSIM patch and an OpenOLT agent patch as well.
So the
The BBSIM patch, Girish, I tested it this morning. It's ready to go in at any time because it's not breaking anything when you run it with a single unit.
Yeah, I mean, that can go, I think.
But is it related to a TCD or persistency?
Yeah, it's
Yes.
Okay. Is it? Which one is it? Oh,
No,
it's
no.
not up there.
It's not from me. It's from Girish.
Oh, sorry, my bad. So this one.
4077.
Okay, great. Okay, and you said an OpenOLT patch, Girish, right?
Yeah.
This one.
Yeah.
Okay. And this will require changes to all our Debian packages, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. We need to discuss this with Radisys as well, by the way. I can take that on. So I think the first one is actually that we need to actually get in is this one. Because otherwise you will have to effectively, these won't work.
Well, they will work, but you know, I couldn't quantify, I mean, how much of an effect the etcd pool had. It probably had a good effect, but I haven't tested without etcd pool to see you know, how it behaved. But I think that's still a good change. We should have it. I mean, in theory,
Okay.
it'll still work.
I'm trying to make the change so that we don't have to make changes in all the other components.
Yeah.
Because I want to make some of the parameters, pool parameters, configurable. I'm going to use environment variable for that. But also I'm cleaning up a little bit of the etcd client. So hopefully that everything will be limited inside the vOLTHA libgo. Otherwise, it will be just minor changes in whoever using that library.
Okay. Okay. So do you expect this to have this ready by today, Ken?
I'm hoping so.
Okay, good.
And there might, if I use environment, then there will be some changes in the hand chart as well.
Oh, so you're gonna push something on top of this one?
Yeah, I guess so, yeah.
Okay. Okay. Anything else? No? Okay, good. Very good. So this needs first to go in. And then these two will need to be rebased on this new version of this one. And this needs just a review and can go in at any time, Theo, right? You said.
That's correct. It passed the sanity test and they tested it with a multi-unit setup locally.
Mm-hmm.
It's a very small patch. It just brings in the latest proto.
Okay, a quick question, Girish. Does this, meaning if we merge everything here and not this one, will the changes, will the existing Debian package still work or will they break? Is it a breaking change? That's what I'm asking.
The packet ins will not work if the OpenOLT patch is not there. I mean, if all other patches merge and the OpenOLT patch isn't merged, packet ins will not work. They will not reach on us.
Okay, so for example, the DT workflow will still work, just as a...
Yes, DT workflow should still work.
Okay. 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 Can we keep everybody updated on the status of this as soon as we get any progress? For example, Ken, as soon as you have this, please ask for a review for it, either on the persistency channel, either on the vOLTHA dev channel, and same for everything else. Let's be on top of these as much as we can. Okay. Okay. The multi-uni, we already talked about this, so I can actually do this. This one is actually, we introduced it, it's merged. We have this reconciling failed state and has been introduced in all the adapters, the core. The decision was not to have this as part of an automated retry process. There would be no as I said, no automated retry process for the reconciliation, because we decided to leave the operator to deal with this as he prefers to do. What he knows is the fact that it failed, and that's what it will be enough for him to then initiate some restoration of the ONU. There are several options, a hard reboot or things like that, or mid reset, but it's all gonna be operator triggered. That's it. Any update from any of you guys? No? Okay. Then I think we can consider this closed for the 2.8 release. We might act on it in the 2.9 release, introducing some specific mechanism, but this is fairly low on priority. Okay. The common understanding, we moved it to tomorrow, Thursday's DMI call, for making sure that we handle that properly. That's gonna be discussed in the call on Thursday from the device management interface. And there was really no update on my side there. So this is, I think, all for the 2.8 release. There's one small thing that comes to mind. Girish, there was this thread from Paul about some different data that the ONU captures. Does that need actually a change in the code that we need to put in? It's a small change, but do we need to put in?
Are you talking about the PPTP ME where
yes.
Okay. Yes, that will need a change if we decide to go ahead with that. I mean, use the configuration indication element in the PPTP ME to fetch the port speed. But yeah, I mean, we would like, I think Paul had a suggestion to, check that with, other vendor OEUs as well.
He also, yeah, he also suggested to check with.
Yeah, I think Burak and Mike.
Okay, yeah, let's see how that goes. If it doesn't come in, I don't particularly care too much about it. Just to be again honest on this one. Okay. Yeah. Anything? Okay. This is all I had. Anything else for the 2.8 release that we need to discuss today? No? Everybody feels confident that as soon as we get all these patches in, we can declare victory, success?
So there is potentially a tiny patch in BDSIM that is still missing. That is the ability to configure the number of uniports you actually want to emulate. I don't think this is a blocker for the release.
Okay, Mahir, is that something you would be interested in? Just to get a feeling for if this is actually a use case, or are you okay with BBSIM reporting 4 of them?
Sorry, Andrea, I missed the question. I was writing something, yes.
No, it's okay. So Theo was saying that at the moment BBSIM is like hard-coded to report for ONUs all the time.
For unis.
So sorry,
Okay.
for unis, yeah, for unis.
Okay.
On each ONU. And he was saying that it might prove interesting to provide a patch that makes this value configurable. Like, at this point in time, we configure how much ONUs we have on each port on BBSIM. And now, could we make this value configurable? What I was asking is that something that you are interested in? Is that something that you guys want?
In the timeline of 2.8 or after 2.8?
Yeah. In this timeline.
That's the question.
Yeah, exactly.
Actually, we can try, but it's hard to do it in this timeline, I think.
It shouldn't be too hard because BBSIM supports multiple units now, and it is just iterating over a constant and exposing that constant in the Helm chart. Shouldn't be too hard.
Yeah. Okay. Let's try it. We can probably do.
Okay. Yeah, I can send up a patch for the BBC.
Yeah, the other things that we talked about today take precedence, Theo. But if you have some spare time during a few runs of the scale test or things like that, feel free to do it. But everything else takes priority.
Yeah, absolutely. If you need, Andrea, there is already a Jira for it. I can add it to the.
Yes, please. If you can send the task to me, I appreciate it.
Okay, good.
Yeah, I'll add it to the document.
Thanks, Theo. Okay. That's all I had. Anything else from anybody else that up for discussion? No? Then if not, let's get 30 minutes back to get the final push of these patches in. As we have slipped a little bit code freeze, we might slip a little bit the date of the release. Let's see how it goes in the next few days. In the operator TST meeting, the operators said that we have a little bit of leeway, a couple of days of leeway to get things properly sorted, meaning that even if we don't release exactly on the 30th, it's okay. This doesn't mean that we need to like do nothing, but that it's okay to have a couple more days to finalize testing and everything, especially given that it's a long-term support release. That's something to keep in mind, and that's why also I'm not stressing too much about the fact that code freeze was skipped yesterday actually. Okay.
Excuse me, Andrea, I was muted.
Oh, hey, Paul.
Hi. I have quite a simple question for BBSim. We just talked about now configure a number of BBSim. Does the BBSim simulate the speed for this PPPTP-ME? So would he reflect just a minor change that Girish is intending to put into the OpenONU Go adapter?
That's a good question. I'm not sure. Matteo?
No, BBSim doesn't simulate anything with the speed because there is no data plane traffic.
But the reporting of the reporting of the speed, not the speed itself.
It definitely doesn't differentiate between different units. Report them all at the same way. That would be a bigger change to put in to simulate different speeds for the ports.
But does it do it right now? Even as reporting them all at the same time, does it do it via the PPPTP-ME or some other way?
I have to go in.
I didn't understand the question, but you know the way it works right now is, I mean, you use for most of the MEs, I think we just hard code some values there in the code, and it just reports that. Some might be configurable, but I think most of them are just hard coded. I'm not sure if I answered Paul's question or I understood it.
The interesting question is, would that be conceivable that you say, hey, BBSim, emulate the port going up and down, giving us LAN loss, giving us the reconfiguration state of 100 base T full duplex, or going down and then going up again with saying gig E full duplex.
Okay.
I'm not sure that this is a really good idea to try to do that every time you simulate an ONU, but that's why I would ask, could you imagine a BBSim button that you just once in a while you say, I want to check if this is still working, and if the whole chain behind would give feedback if such an alarm or state change on the at least.
Yes. So some of the alarms are already supported. You can simulate, I think, around 20 alarms via MCI that are generated via the BBSim CLI, and you can manage the life cycle of an ONU. You can reboot it, you can shut it down, you can power it on to emulate the subscriber messing with the box.
That sounds very similar, that you, instead of, it's not an alarm by definition, but it's a specific state that an operator would be interested to know. If its client at the CPE is connected with 10 base T half duplex, then usually you have a cabling problem. If it should always read gig E full duplex if you have a correct CPE, a modern CPE connected to that. But you simply take a cable that is not 4 pair, but only 2 pairs, then you would see it will never sync to GigE, but only fast Ethernet. And well, this is typically someone, a customer will complain that he doesn't get more than 100 meg. And you are the operator, you should know that, well, the root cause is that, hey, this guy did not use a GigE cable. And you see that the LAN port on my ONU does not sync to GigE, and then you will tell the customer, hey, please change your cable. So this is real world.
Yeah, we'll have to look into which MCI messages the real ONU will send in that case, and we can easily replicate them with BBC.
That sounds really good. Thank you.
Okay, Theo, do you mind opening a Jira for this so we track it for 2.9?
Yeah, yeah, do it.
Thanks. Okay, good, thanks. Anything else? Okay, then thanks a lot, everybody. And we'll talk again on Slack. Let's get the final push with the patches we talked about in, and hopefully we can get the release out as soon as possible. Thanks, everybody. Have a great day. Cheers. Bye-bye.
Thanks. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.